Welcome back to the Form First podcast. You are joined by your hosts, Sam and Ben, for episode 21,
Bang.
which
We made
officially
it.
makes us in the top 1% of podcast creators in the world.
Yeah. Unreal. What an effort.
Nice work, mate.
We got there.
We did. Wasn't an overnight success,
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of hurdles along the way.
but we got there.
Yeah.
I kind of have this newfound respect for podcasters since we have started. I think you think of 21 episodes of a podcast or a TV show and you can get through that relatively quick,
Yeah.
right? You know, you smash through 1 to 2 episodes per day. You know,
Yeah.
that can be over within just over a week,
I
right?
reckon that's a light session, 1 to 2 episodes a day as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, we probably haven't been the most consistent. You know, you've been struck down with a sickness for the past 2 weeks now. So, you know, we have had some breaks in there, but
Yeah.
I think we both should be very proud of ourselves for getting this
Yeah.
far.
I think still coming back to do it and like being aware of it, putting the effort in as well. So no, it's been really good. It's an
Yep.
enjoyable thing to do.
Absolutely, mate. And
Yeah.
here's to the next 21 and beyond.
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
Now that we've hit 21 episodes, I think the next milestone will be the big 100.
I was going to go for the half century.
Yeah, well, I think if you listen to any big podcasters, they say you haven't started a podcast until you have 150 episodes. 150.
150.
Yeah, 150. Yeah.
Sheesh.
So we are a long way from that, but I can start to believe that because, you know, you need to find your groove of, you know,
Yeah.
how you speak, how you and I go with guests and how we speak together.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to find
Bit of an identity.
that identity.
Lovely.
Absolutely. So I think the main reason that we created this podcast was so that we can provide more free information to, you know, gym goers and people that are looking to get into their health and fitness. We're also doing that for lead generation for Form First and also our own businesses as well, Core Remedial and Sammy Shreds. And we expected that if we just upload one episode, we're probably not going to get any leads and we're probably not going to have any or much impact on people's lives just from that one episode.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but I've been getting some comments from people saying like, hey, I listened to your podcast. Like, I loved this one. I got so much information from it.
Yep.
We have been getting some, you know, lead generation from the podcast as well, which has been fantastic.
It's great.
It kind of relates back to fitness though, right? You know, your fitness goals. If you do one amazing workout and you eat one delicious healthy salad, you're not going to achieve your health and fitness goals.
No.
But if you do the grueling workouts and you eat healthy for, you know, 150 days in a row,
Yeah.
well, you are going to see great results from that.
Yeah. That compounding effect of consistency.
Yep.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be, even the same with the podcast, it doesn't have to be 100% every time. It's the same with your training and nutrition. If you adherent at least, 70, 80%
Yep.
over that 150 days, yeah, you'll still see great results.
Yeah. Yep. Compound interest doesn't just relate to money, but it can relate to health and fitness as well.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
the more workouts you put in the bank, the more you're going to get out of that. So I want to rewind back a couple of weeks ago. It was a Monday morning and I was training with my mate Luke. We were training legs. Shout out to Luke. I know he listens to this podcast.
Nice.
We had just finished up. I think it might have been 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think I was there.
Yeah, you were just
Yeah,
pulling
just
into the
pulling
gym.
up. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you were like, you looked at me like I was crazy, and
Yeah.
you're like, you just finished, and like, yep. You know, I think we got in at 4:35 a.m. for our leg session, and I didn't have any other time during the day to train. That was basically the only time that Luke and I could train. So it kind of ties back to that saying it's amazing what you can do when you don't have any other option.
Yeah.
When you're pushed into a corner and you go, well, I have to train today. that's a non-negotiable, but I have other commitments with work and family.
Yeah.
Well, what?
How are we going to make it work?
How am I going to make it work?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that probably means that I'm going to have to get up really, really early and get a super early session in. Did I want to get in and train legs at that time of the morning on a Monday morning? Absolutely not.
No.
But went in, got it done, and felt significantly better after.
Oh, could imagine.
Yeah.
how
Maybe
good
not
that
straight
would've
after.
felt. Yeah, nah.
And not when the DOM set in, of course, but
Yeah.
felt a sense of achievement. And that day, I was so productive because that session was already out the way. And I
Yeah.
felt super, super clear because
A bit more relaxed.
a bit more relaxed. And I
Yeah.
didn't have that voice in my head going like, hey, you still need to train. Like you got to get your work done.
Yeah.
And I know what would happen. Like I would get busy and then that session wouldn't happen. And then I would have to put that on another day when it wouldn't particularly fit.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like, I don't want to do legs on the best of days. I don't want to do legs 12 p.m. on a Tuesday at all. So, yeah, coming in first day of the week at 5 a.m. to do a leg session is not easy at all. So, kudos to you and Luke. That's a heck of an effort. And it's great, like, that's the power of having someone that you lift with.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, you probably, I'd say individually, wouldn't have done that, without each other.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Like maybe you would have, but I think that's pretty psychotic if you can get in by yourself on a Monday morning at 5. So it's pretty cool to see that you guys like can bounce off of each other in that way and motivate each other. I'm sure he had a great rest of the day as well.
Yeah. Well, like it keeps you accountable. If you've got a training buddy, it keeps you accountable. And it also ties into if you've got a personal trainer or a coach, you're going to be accountable to that personal trainer or coach. So if you're paying them for a said service, well, you're not going to hit snooze on your alarm. You're going to get up in the morning and go to that session. Or even if you're doing online coaching, you're paying for that service. So you're like, well, I have my push session booked in for today. I'm not going to not go because I've already paid for it in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's not like your trainer wants to see you get those results, so they're not gonna bail on you either. Like a good trainer will rock up when you need them to rock up, and if you need to do a session at 5 a.m, then a lot of people will do that for you.
Yep.
So besides the accountability factor of having someone else to train with or a PT, is there anything else that helped you get into the gym that early in the morning?
I think it comes back to your goals, the importance of your goals. Thinking back to when I was doing bodybuilding, like I didn't have any other choice. There was no other choice. There was not like there was no choice to hit the snooze button. You had to get up and get that session done. Otherwise, you're not getting on that stage. You're not going to win the show because in my mind, other people were up at that time training. And
absolutely,
if you are up on that stage and people were splitting hairs between 1 and 2, and that person that won showed up on that day that you didn't want to, well, that's what motivated me to get me out of bed to do the session, to do the cardio sessions, to eat the food, to starve myself. That's what motivated me at that time.
Yeah.
Now goals are very different, and I have a bit more of a holistic longevity view on things, but I always put it into the perspective of if I'm not showing up as a coach and practicing what I preach, well, how can I expect my clients to show up?
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, and it comes back to, also being a dad too. Like I want my kids to be accountable and I want them to show up on a daily basis, do the hard things, because that will get them a long way in life.
Yeah, and I think being able to be consistent in the gym and to show up consistently and see results has such an effect on the rest of your life, and it shows to me, it shows what this person might be capable of as well in other facets of their life. When I see someone like you or someone like one of our trainers here going, smashing it in the gym, I'm like, well, this isn't the only facet of life that they're crushing.
Yep.
Like, it's obvious. So
Yep.
for your kids to see that in you, and to see that you work hard in the gym or you work hard at work or whatever it might be, is, it's going to set them up really well, and they'll idolize you as a father and talk about you nonstop probably. So yeah, really important to have that as a specific goal for you that's changed since your competition days.
Yeah, for sure. And relating this to my current clientele and the clientele that we have here at Form First as well, typically the clients that are the hardest workers in the gym are the best parents. They are the best business people. We work with a lot of entrepreneurs and
We do, yeah.
Highly successful people in their specific roles, and they have to train. This is their release. This is their stress release.
Yeah. Yeah, it is part of their personality. People say the gym's all your personality. Well, fucking oath it is. Like, says a lot about me. And I actually, I didn't realize my partner actually woke me up to this. She's like, it's really good to see you train as hard as you do in the gym, because it makes so much sense in other parts of your life, whether it's like business or friends or soccer or whatever it is. Like, it all sort of coattails together and says a lot about you as a person. Now she's like, now I just see people differently when I see them working out. Like, it, every now and then you'll rock up and it's going to be a tougher session and you might look like it's the hardest thing ever, but that's sort of the gist of it, I guess.
I guess another way that I approach it when motivation is low with myself and with other clients is asking yourself the question, what happens if you don't achieve said goal? That can be a really good kick up the butt for a lot of people, including yourself.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, and it's not so much that you can have a specific goal and you can have a specific timeline, and we can get stuck in those things where it's like, oh, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll do legs tomorrow. I'll make it up at this week some stage. And then you get to the next week and then you sort of start to get in that routine of not doing legs or just not working out. And then lo and behold, it's been fucking 3 months and you have no idea where you could have been by that point. And that's what you're constantly thinking of. And you're like, oh, I could be here at this point.
Yep.
I could be 3 months in. And, and then it's just like guilt and your motivation just continues to go down.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, 3 months, let's do another 2 months or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Slippery slope.
Yep, 100%. So, yeah, I think doing that full circle and thinking about what your goals are and reevaluating your goals on a regular basis as well, biting it up into bite-sized pieces. If you're sitting here and you've got 50 kilos to lose and you're looking at that entire 50 kilos that you need to lose, that's a big bite.
Got to make it palatable.
100%. But if you break that up into 10 kilo increments, or 10 kilo drops rather, over that period of time, well, that's a lot easier to digest.
Yep.
Yeah. Still going to take you the same amount, but you can reward yourself and acknowledge that achievement with every 10 kilos that you lose along the way.
Yeah. And for someone that has to, that is looking to lose, that is looking to lose that amount of weight, you can sort of break that down into let's try for 1 kilo a week to get to my first 10 kilos. That's quite achievable for someone who's losing that much weight. Typically, they can lose weight at a bit of a faster rate. And then, like you said, you reevaluate your goals. So you get to that first milestone of 10 kilograms, and then we have a look again and be like, okay, what do we do? How am I going to do it quicker or feel better while I'm doing it? Because maybe the first 10 kilos was a bit of a starve myself, feel like shit, hard to train.
Yep.
All right, I can do it better this time.
I think a lot of this comes down to positive self-talk, positive reinforcement.
Yep.
When we are setting a specific goal in mind, and that can be anything from fitness, can be business as well, we tend to always think about the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And we don't really think about the best case scenario, what could happen.
No. It's pretty traditional to think about the worst case and be fueled by fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, I mean, like, I don't know about you, but when we started this gym, you know, signing that lease, I think the first thing that went through my mind is like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Well, it could close, it could fail.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to think about what could happen if it fails, because it motivates you.
Yeah.
It does. But it's not the only thing we could think about.
No.
What's the best case scenario that could happen by opening a facility, opening a gym? Well, it could work.
Yeah.
We could, it could.
Yeah.
And we could have members, and we could have a hub for PTs and, yourself, massage therapists upstairs, and podcast room that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And it could build into this amazing business that we've built.
Yeah.
And I think we need to think about that in a fitness sense as well. You know, when we are thinking about our goals and thinking about, okay, I need to lose 20 kilos for my wedding by the end of the year. Worst case scenario, if I don't achieve that, well, I'm not going to fit in my suit. I'm not going to be happy with how I look and how I feel.
Yeah.
And, I want my kids to look at my wedding photos and be proud of the dad and mum up there, in their wedding photos. But best case scenario, it all works out.
Yeah.
You do lose that 20 kilos. In fact, you lose more. You lose 25 kilos.
Yeah.
And you drop down a couple of dress sizes or suit sizes. And you look back at those photos in many years, and you're incredibly proud to see those photos, and you show your kids those photos, being a good role model.
Absolutely. I come from a past of being quite negative towards myself, and in terms of self-talk and sort of self-thinking and things like that. And compared to now, where, little bits of negativity creep in, that's just how it goes. But thinking about goals positively and, thinking about goals positively gives me so much more like energy when I think about what I want to achieve. And it's the same with the gym. Like when we talk about that together, when we talk about worst case scenario, it's always like down in the dumps. There's no like energy behind our voice. But when we're like, we're looking for place number 2 now, every time I mention that to someone or think about that, it's just like, I'm just ready to go. You know what I mean? And just gets me so excited. And it's such a healthier motivator compared to being motivated by failing. Yeah. Where you're just like kicking yourself and you're like shit scared. So, Sam, we're going to get into a tier list for home recovery. So tier lists typically go by S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier. So S tier for this specific list is going to be must-haves and pretty much must master before we move on to the next tier. So S tier is going to be like that, where everything in there you should be across before we start considering the different options. So similar to training, where you should be across certain things before you start getting into like pre-workout or magnesium or whatever it might be. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Cool. So we're going to get into that. You're going to read out some things to me. I'll rank them in terms of home recovery, and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
Rightio. Let's start off with nutrition.
Nutrition is an S tier tool for not only home recovery, but training and everyone that out there that's training and doing stuff like that. Nutrition in terms of recovery, if we're prioritizing protein and things like that, that overnight recovery when we're sleeping helps with building that muscle back up, no matter what you're sort of doing, even after a massage, for example, we're sort of breaking down muscle tissue a little bit there. So rebuilding that to come back healthier the next day is an absolute essential.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen. Foam rollers.
In terms of home recovery, they're an A tier. I think that they're really, really good pre and post training or game or anything like that, just to sort of help with blood flow, circulation, can help with some myofascial release with your muscles. Won't do too much else in terms of your muscle tone. It'll just wake things up. So really useful tool and cheap and accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't go buying the expensive ones or ones that vibrate or anything like that. You don't need anything crazy for a foam roller.
Yeah. Ice baths and cold plunges.
I think their popularity's gone down recently. I'd probably put that in terms of home recovery would be B, almost a C tier. I think that if you're going to buy a specific ice bath, they're pretty expensive, like just those normal portable ones. Otherwise, I'd just use like, I don't know, a bin or something like that with a bit of water and ice in it.
Yep.
Can help with soreness and some inflammation if there is any present. Can stunt growth if you do it too quickly after training.
Yeah, muscle growth.
With muscle growth. So yeah, I'd say probably B or C with that one.
And we've touched on cold plunges before, like great for mental health.
Yeah.
Increasing dopamine, great for mental focus. Okay for muscle recovery, but it has to be very specific with the timing
Really
around
specific.
Your training.
Yeah.
What about massage guns?
Massage guns is a really good one. In terms of home recovery, for me, that would be an A tier, maybe a B. Just like depends on the price. Like if it's a really expensive massage gun, then I'd probably put that in like C tier. There's no point. Maybe the expensive ones are more quiet. Maybe it's Nike have one and they've just slapped on a huge price tag. But I think they're really handy. Same thing as a foam roller. Like before a workout or before a game, they're great. Like waking up the nervous system, getting you ready to go. Good circulation as well, so can make you feel a little bit lighter pre-exercise. So yeah, I think A tier probably for a home recovery option.
Sleep.
S for S tier, S for sleep. Really, really important. Nothing on the planet will fix fatigue. No replacement for that at all. So sleep is fantastic for recovery. It'll determine typically how your day goes and how your performance goes due to energy levels, fatigue, and different things like that. So that's an absolute essential. You need to nail sleep before you start smashing coffees and different things like that.
Yeah. And what about heat therapy?
Heat therapy is a good one. I almost want to put heat in S in terms of home recovery.
Yep.
Because you can just have a nice warm shower that can make a huge difference. Even baths and things like that can be really good. So super accessible, and even going to use a sauna now is, it's not that expensive.
It's very accessible now.
Really accessible. And if you've got the dosh to get yourself a proper home sauna, I'd probably put that in S tier, like a home sauna. Like accessibility, the money's worth you'll get out of that, the recovery, like for circulation and for lactic acid and muscle fatigue, it's just really, really good stuff. So super popular, much more popular and effective than cold therapy. So I'd say A tier.
Yep, cool. Just on the topic of heat therapy, Epsom salt baths?
Huge debate on whether magnesium and all that type of stuff can be absorbed through the skin. I'd say the good part about an Epsom salt bath is the bath part of it.
Yeah.
So B tier, C tier, almost. Probably the B tier because of the bath.
Yeah.
If it's warm, don't have a cold Epsom salt bath.
Yeah, I went to a facility the other day and they had the saunas and the hot and cold therapy there, and the warm bath side of things 36 degrees, and it had magnesium in there as well. And it's hard to debate if I felt any different from just going in a traditional hot cold plunge, noticing any difference. I mean, I obviously felt amazing, but I don't think I felt any better by having the magnesium added to the water versus not adding it in there.
Yeah, and I mean the heat is obviously, it's just great for relaxing muscles. your muscles are going to relax whether there's salt, magnesium in them or not because it's hot.
Yep.
So probably B's here.
Yeah. Yep. And last one, what about active recovery and mobility work?
S tier. Free, accessible. It's all sort of self-led, and there is so much good content for free on the internet, on routines you can do, and you can do a 5-minute routine, you can do a 30-minute routine. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you can do to make that consistent active mobility is just, it's better than your static stretching. As good as that is post training and stuff like that, you need to do active work, mobility work before you work out, and you need to do it afterwards. You don't need to do static with either.
Yeah. Can you give some examples of what active recovery would be post workout?
Walking, continuing to move, jumping on a what are they called? Stationary bike. You see footy players, for example, AFL players, you'll see them in the tunnel, or if anyone watches the NBA, you'll see players jump on a stationary bike. Obviously, they'll sit down for a period of time, but that's only if they're going to come back on quickly. If you've got a player that's coming off for a bit of a period of time where he's just had a knock, they'll jump on a recovery bike and keep going.
Yep.
So super, super important just to keep everything flowing. If we sit down and we slow down, the heart rate slows right down. Then blood doesn't pump through as quick. So super important to get that into your routine. It's just really great for your mental health as well.
Yeah. I remember during COVID, my wife and I, we found this YouTube channel. I can't remember what it was called, but there's heaps of channels out there, and they just did stretching yoga. And before bed, most nights we would put on the stretching yoga and we would just stretch. No phones, 10 minutes.
Yep.
And you would go to bed feeling amazing.
Feeling great.
Great for your mental health as well, like you mentioned. There's also another facility in Norwood called Stretch Lab.
Yeah.
So it's amazing business. You literally get manually stretched.
Yeah. It's awesome.
On a table. Highly recommend it. Ben and I have checked it out before.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. You walk out of there feeling like 10 centimeters taller because they've just stretched you in every possible direction.
Yeah, exactly. And even, there are studios and physio clinics that do mobility sessions.
Yeah.
Whether that's on a Pilates table where it's sort of light work, and it's just a group of people who all have the same goal, but they just can't quite do it themselves. They can't quite work up the motivation, which is totally fair.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of it's very repetitive work. But there's all these different options now. And like I said, self-directed videos all over the internet that are great.
Yeah.
Hard to get it wrong as well with mobility stuff. There's not a lot you can do incorrectly.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying way too hard.
Yeah.
Start with walking. Yeah.
So I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and we've been working together for a few months now. And she noted that it took her a little while to actually commit and sign up to coaching and join the gym. And she comes from a background of undereating, not having much energy throughout the day. And her rationale for not doing it sooner was she thought that she needed to get more energy before she committed to training so that she would have the energy to train.
Right, yeah.
Little did she know that down the line now she realizes that training is what gives her energy.
Yeah.
Training is responsible for increasing her appetite so that she can actually eat more and put on weight and put on muscle. And it's kind of the other way around. Now she trains to have energy.
Yeah.
It was such an amazing realization for her. And it's kind of the opposite of what most people experience.
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I think most people obviously are in a position where maybe they need to go to the gym to lose weight,
Yep.
But they might not particularly have the energy off the bat.
Yeah. And I think even it probably breaks down to like a psychological thing where
Mm.
you work out and you're like, oh, that felt good.
Yep.
Let's do that again. Like I'm keen to do that again. So yeah, obviously makes you a bit hungrier, a bit more of an appetite, and then you start to eat the food and you're like, oh yeah, eating food's good. Like I get to eat more now, and you get like you were talking about earlier with the leg day, where you after that you were super productive.
Yeah.
You know, you obviously it was a grueling workout, I'm sure, but you're like, oh nah, I feel good now. Like I want to get shit done. So it's a great way to think about it.
Yeah. And I think sometimes you just need to rip the Band-Aid off.
Oh yeah, big time.
You do. Like there needs to be obviously a rationale and thinking behind it. Like you don't want to just commit to everything straight off the bat. You need to have to think about, committing to a coach, because that is a financial decision, and joining up to the gym because it is a big commitment. There's plenty of people that go and join the gym and don't use their membership. I mean, not here, because we encourage our clients to come and train at the gym, but that's what a lot of the big box gyms rely on. 70 to 80% of their clients or their members not to rock up to the gym. It's huge. Nuts. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's not what we want here, right?
No. We want to see everyone.
Yeah, for sure. So I think there needs to be a, rip the Band-Aid off moment when you are committing and making that realization that, yes, I'm not where I need to be right now, but I need to put one foot in front of the other and take that first step forward.
Yeah.
In order to progress.
Because that's the only way you're going to get there.
That's it, Or what's the alternative? Keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, which is not getting you the results that you desire.
Yeah, do the same thing, get the same results. Yeah.
That's it. Reach out to a coach or a mentor that has been where you've been or helped achieve other people achieve the exact same goal that you want to achieve.
Yeah. I think that's something that I've noticed in my life. Like I used to be a bit heavier, and I've spoken about that on the podcast before, and I've changed, I'd say, significantly, not only physically but psychologically, because of my journey in the gym. And I've got a lot of friends that are either currently or used to be in that position where they're a bit bigger, and they've seen what I've done with myself, and naturally they obviously all want to feel better and look better and all this type of stuff. So they'll come to me and be like, oh, how did you do it? What did it take? All that type of stuff. So it'll only sort of spread that type of, again, it's a contagious thing. When someone is like, oh shit, you got fit. What the hell happened? How'd you do that?
Yeah.
That type of thing. So it's like, I just took the plunge, bro.
Yeah.
Just woke up one day and did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just committed. Don't look back.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's daunting. But I think once you rip that first Band-Aid off, you realize that you just need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And for anything else in your life, it's just going to take that one day or that one decision to be, all right, I'm doing it now.
And in that scenario, you were probably in that mindset of you don't have any other options, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd finally figured out that I'd been doing the same thing over and over again. And even that was like trying to reach out to a PT, but then not rocking up and not having a specific goal, probably.
Yeah.
My goal back then was probably women. And that just it just doesn't last.
No. Well, what happens when you then get a partner and then you just go back to those old habits? Like your goal, your reasoning, your why isn't deep enough.
Yeah.
You need to think about, okay, like you want to get fit and healthy so that you can get women. Why? Why does that matter to you? Well, you want to personally be more attractive, right? And you want to be attractive to other people.
Yeah.
Can be women, can be men, can be anyone. But what does that actually do for you in the long term?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precisely.
And it has to be very specific. Like, what is that visual representation? What does that look like for you? And what does that open up for you outside of the gym? And just circling back to the whole train to have energy mentality. When we train, we get a lifter's high, and it's very similar to the runner's high. Your dopamine, your endorphins are at an all-time high, and you feel incredible. You do. And that can last a really long time, longer than any drug will give you. Right?
Yeah.
And it's sustainable as well. And it's
Yeah.
addictive, but it's a good
And cheap.
addiction. It's cheap.
compared to
Yeah.
compared to the other option. Absolutely. And like you said, like it's honestly to me it's one of the best feelings in the world. One of the best feelings ever is finishing that. For me it's especially legs. I'll always circle back to legs, to be honest. After finishing a really good leg session and you just like after about 5 minutes you just feel proud of yourself.
Yep.
Like I did that and I feel good and like I'm one step closer to my goal, and it's the same with the runners. I'm so glad I did that 5 kilometer run instead of just staying at home. Stay at home, no high.
Yep.
Yep, just on a downer.
Well, if going to the gym is the hardest thing that you do in your day, then any other hard tasks that you have to do become easy.
Yeah, big time.
So the more hard things you can lean into in life, the easier life gets in a way.
Yep, I totally agree. Well said.
Nice. Well, thanks for tuning in for what was episode 21, guys. This has been a big achievement for us and proud of you, mate.
Podcast is high.
Yeah, that's it. But don't forget to give us a rating on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we hope to see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Peace.